What did you do for fun as a child? No?
I rode my bike. I skated across the street on a pond that my father would shovel for us. And there was a farm down the road. We used to go and feed the ponies.
We did a lot of things outside. We played baseball in our front yard.
Badminton.
Kickball.
Jarts. Before they took that game off the market.
We had bars down in back.
Monkey bars.
Monkey bars. We would do somersaults and stuff over them.
And our father would have a fire, and the kids in the neighborhood would come over to roast marshmallows. And we'd sleep out in the tent. That was a big thing.
So there was a lot of outdoor stuff.
We chased lightning bugs. That's fun. We played board games. Next.
How did you react when JFK was assassinated?
I certainly remember where I was. I was in the garage. I was banging nuts with a stone to get the nuts out. So it's definitely something I'll never forget. And I remember our grandmother saying that he had died and just feeling awful, and something I'll never forget.
I woke up from a nap. I was in kindergarten, and my mother said that they had shot the president. And we had a black and white TV. The neighbors had color.
All right. What was school life like?
Rigid.
We went to a Catholic school. It was really strict.
Uniforms. You had to, if an adult walked into the classroom, you had to stand up and say, "Good morning, sister," or "Good morning, father," and then before they left the room, you had to ask for the blessing. And then we'd get down on our knees and pray.
And we'd be in church Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
I just remember Monday. We had novenas on Monday afternoon. We had to go.
What do you remember from air raid drills?
Oh, and our playground was asphalt. No swings, nothing. Each grade got a kickball.
Air raid drills, they didn't happen often, but we would go out in the hall.
Away from glass windows.
And we all lined up, and we would put our heads against the wall like this.
To cover our heads.
Cover our head.
All right. That answered that. How did Vietnam impact life in this area?
I just feel like there was a lot of hippies, so I always remember Vietnam as being a negative thing.
I just remember it being on the evening news every night. And the casualties. I think you'd pick up a magazine and you'd see casualties, the pictures of the soldiers.
How did you feel about the Vietnam War?
I was too young to.
I just never felt positive about it, ever. Once.
Did you follow politics during the era?
No. Too young.
We were young, but
It just seemed like everybody was assassinated. JFK, Bobby, Martin Luther King. Even Oswald.
Yep.
That was the big.
How did you feel about Reagan?
Just remember watching Johnny Carson, and they continually make jokes about bedtime for Bonzo. And I remember him being shot. I remember that day. And I thought, because I was old enough to realize what had happened.
What music did you like?
well, we were young, so we liked the Partridge Family, Bobby Sherman. What else, Marge? Was it Moody Blues?
The Monkees, and
Moody
that was
Blues.
the 60s.
Cat Stevens.
Donna Summer, Rick James,
I remember Mom talking about Donna Summer.
Queen. I was pretty eclectic though. I buy classical albums. Sorry, Drew.
How did you feel about the civil rights movement? And Sue, can you wait?
The civil rights movement I felt was more for the South, so I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the civil rights movement.
Yeah, I'd agree. They were ignorant. I think that's what we were. That the people were ignorant in the South.
Yeah, I agree.
How did you react to the Watergate scandal?
Nixon.
I knew we were a part of history in the making. I always think Nixon was one of our best presidents. I still do.
Oh my God. Sue, how much we had to
I know. Hurry up and do it. Then she answers all the questions.
Nixon, Sue?
Seriously?
Nixon. I think everybody wanted Nixon out.
I remember Dad talking to me Saturday saying that he actually interviewed Nixon.
And it was a big
did?
disappointment
Or
when
he
he
held the
was
microphone.
forgiven
But he
by
met Nixon.
Ford.
He met Nixon before.
But I listened to it at first on the radio and then it was televised. I remember Martha Mitchell more than I probably remember Martha Mitchell more than I remember Richard Nixon.
All
Sorry, I
right.
didn't mean to interrupt the interview.
What was that question? Was that the Watergate scandal?
Watergate.
Yeah,
They
Watergate.
All right.
Nixon.
Well, we already know Sue's answer for this next one. Can you please? I'm trying to record this.
It's potato chips.
Where's Buddy?
Over there, Pete.
Where's Bud? He's upstairs.
Did you feel that Nixon was doing a good job as the president?
I didn't then, but in reflection, when I compare him to other presidents, I feel like he did a good job.
He opened up China. That much I know because I was in 9th grade and we were studying China.
Thank you.
Who were your favorite actors and actresses?
Mine was actress was Vivian Leigh, and my actor was Robert Redford.
I like David Cassidy.
No, that was long.
How did you react to the rationing of gas and other energy sources during the energy crisis of the 1970s? Oh, I did not. I just copied.
Well, we
these.
know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I was in New Jersey once with 2 other girls, and it was an odd day, so we weren't allowed to get gas. But we had to get home to New York. But we were all really cute, so the guy pumped us gas. He got yelled at by his employer, but we just sped off.
Gas cans were metal.
What do you remember about
Long
that?
gas lines, too.
Thanks, Mom. What do you remember about the hostages in Iran?
We remember more the hostages at the Olympics and how tragic and terrible it was.
No, I remember those guys in Iran. They held them for like 40 days.
No, it was over a
No.
year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 444.
It just went on and on and on. And I think people would be willing to talk about the TV show Dallas before they talk about the hostages. I didn't think anybody ever thought they were going to come back.
What do you remember about the nuclear reactor accident at 3 Mile Island? You can speak.
It was hush
What's that?
hush.
It was terrible.
Mom, do you want
That was
to?
horrible. It was too close to home.
What do you remember about drug usage during this period?
Not much.
That's the answer.
A lot of, like I said, a lot of hippies, a lot of pot.
Nobody could remember anything back in those days.